It was a real pain telling Irene about Magda. I don't really know why, but I seem to have grown soft over the years. Some say that's what family life does to you, but then again, I've always felt like two different persons in my private life and when I'm on a mission. Like now. Getting into Anton Mahler's apartment went without a single hiccup, though the broken lock left a bit of a mess at the building's back door. Hopefully, there's no outside patrol. I also hope Carver has found something of significance in there, as the call to Magda's old clinic following the lead of Piotr's deranged postcard, whoever he is, yielded nothing. Now, having choked up the guard, he should be enjoying his beauty sleep long enough for us to get far away from here. The real trick will be just getting out of the building as easily as we came in. Either way, this is sure to stir up the hive. Paying visits to Philip Kramer and Sasha Pagodin, or even the Slavic Association, might not go as easy. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
Carver, you carefully look outside, and you see two men moving towards the door with their weapons drawn. Pistols, Heckler & Koch, you think. VP-70, quite an iconic weapon. Since you just peeked, you don't think that they would have been able to see the actual door, not from where they were standing, but you're not sure. They will be at the door in 20 seconds. What do?
I turn to look at Bjorn, a slight look of panic on my features, and I quickly raise up my hand and make a 2 symbol, and then point to the door, and then start moving towards him, and I kind of go, "Quick! Give me his gun! Give me his gun!"
Toilet, now! And I pick up the body.
You pick up the body. It's quite heavy.
Toilet! Go to the toilet!
I move to help him with the body and start moving to the toilet.
You are able to make it to the toilet. What do you do there?
I close the door, and I hand the gun over to Carver.
Fuck. Shit.
Shh. Quiet.
You hear the handle at the door being opened. Footsteps. People entering. They are quiet. The floorboards are creaking.
I just put a finger to my mouth as if to hush him.
I take in a deep breath and try and remain silent.
From my coat pocket, I bring out the gun and hand it over to him.
You can hear movement outside. Muffled speech. Can't really pick up what they're saying. It seems like they're looking for someone. Perhaps their friend.
I'm gonna use my chameleon skill and I'm gonna imitate the guy that I've just been talking to.
Alright, roll for chameleon.
Okay. I rolled a 2, basically, and I got +4, so 6.
Alright, what do? You are trying to imitate this man that you just met.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, "In here, sorry."
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, my stomach's been acting up. I trusted you got the situation outside.
Yeah, we noticed something strange has happened downstairs. It seems like there's been a break-in of some kind. Wolfgang called up and told us to make sure that there's no one here in the room.
Okay, good.
Be quick. We need to do a full search of the building.
Sure. I'm really sorry. Can you just give me 5 minutes? I'm just... Yeah.
All right, we'll be waiting outside.
Thanks.
And you hear them talking to each other. Muffled. Not really sure what they're saying.
kind of whisper under my breath, "Can't believe that worked. Thank God the door's closed."
And I gesture for him to stand away from the door, just in case they get some violent ideas. And now listen, are they actually still in the room?
You think they have left?
Okay. I'm very carefully signal to be quiet, and I'm gonna open the door, gun in hand.
And you open the door. And you come out into the apartment, and it's empty. The door to the entrance is open.
Let's have a look around quickly if there's any alternate escape route.
It's the 8th floor. There is fire escape. The building is completely new. It's a very new and modern fire escape system. It looks like you should be able to get down pretty quickly, although it will probably make quite a lot of noise.
I shoot to look at Carver, and I gesture towards the fire escape to see if he has any objections.
I nod towards Bjorn, basically saying, "Yes, we need to get out of here quickly. Let's go." Fuck.
I nod, and I hope we've got everything we needed from this place, and let's go.
And you hear steps coming into the room, and you see one of the men there with his weapon up, and he sees the two of you, and it is an instant for you to decide now what to do. He obviously sees that you are not who he's expecting in here.
I'm gonna try and put him down as quickly as I can, because I think this is too dangerous.
Alright, then you roll to engage in combat.
Well, I got my silencer for whatever that's worth. I'm gonna engage in combat and add the edge. 1 shot in the head and 2 in the chest.
Roll coolness instead of violence.
Oh, fuck. 7.
You're able to get the shots off, but you don't hit where you wanted to hit. You hit him in the arm instead of the chest, and definitely not in the head. He kind of goes down, but he yells, "Help!" You hear the other man come running. What do? Carver, what are you doing as you see all this happening?
Yeah, I'd like to spend an edge to sort of, via sixth sense, just sort of try and dart forward and smack the guy as hard as I can round the head with the gun I have.
You rush forth to take him out. Then you roll to engage in combat normally, but since you're using an edge here, how about we do an act under pressure instead?
So yes, I'll sort of be using my pre-sense to just feel the moment and just go, I need to take him out now. And I run forward and I roll my coolness, correct?
Mm-hmm.
15. Possibly 14, actually, because of the -1 of the sleep.
So together with the shot that this guy has just taken from Björn's gun, he now gets clocked with a gun right in the side of the head, and he goes down. Just as you do this, another man appears at the entrance of the door, and he immediately aims his weapon against Björn. Björn, what do?
I flash around to that one and fire upon him instead. I think per reflex I'll do the same kind of engagement.
Indeed. Let's see how it goes this time.
12, 11.
You take him out, but not before he's able to shoot at you. And he hits. Roll to endure an injury, and you have the harm is 2.
I roll 6, and I have fortitude 1, so 7.
Then you have a choice. You are either knocked out, you receive a critical wound, or you die.
Shit. I think I'll be knocked out, yeah.
The bullet sort of hits you at the side of the head, and you sort of slump together on the floor. And in this quiet apartment is now Carver and a whole bunch of lifeless bodies. What do, Carver?
I look around in a little bit of a panic. I swear to myself multiple times, and then I lean down by Bjorn and I just check his pulse. I just try and see if I can help him in some way.
He is alive. He just seems to have gotten a bad hit to the head. You hope that he will come back to his senses, but he's out, at least for now.
I'm going to try and heft him up and do my best to guide him down the stairs and back to the car as quickly as I can.
You start to make it towards the entrance.
I'll pause for a moment just to check outside.
There's nothing in the corridor. It's quiet and empty.
I'll try and make my way out of the building and get him back to the car.
As you try to make your way through the corridor, you're pulling your friend's body here through the corridor. You realize that while Björn's gun was silenced, one of the men's gun, the one that went off, was definitely not. This is a sound that is bound to lead to calls for the police. You know that you have to be quick now. Are you going to go for the elevator, or are you going to go for the stairs? You're on the 8th floor.
I need to go for the stairs. I'm thinking if there's anyone on their way, they're going to use the elevator themselves, so stairs.
The stairs it is. Then let's see if you can roll for act under pressure here to see how this goes. Very tense situation.
10.
You pull Björn down the stairs. It takes a lot of time. He's quite heavy. You have to stop. You become like almost drenched in sweat as you do this. It takes time, but eventually you find yourself down on the 1st floor.
Ugh. Jesus fuck. Come on, Bjorn, wake up. And I'll start trying to make, now we're on the bottom floor, go back to the back exit where we came in.
You make your way over there. Something tells you that you're not alone here in the entrance. You hear steps. Someone speaking on a radio. Speaking in German, calling for backup. It doesn't sound like the police. It doesn't sound official like that. Perhaps it is the man who was waiting at the bus stop.
I'm gonna lay down Bjorn and sort of just wait round the corner, waiting as I hear this voice, and I'm just counting to myself. I close my eyes and just sort of ready myself.
He's standing there in front of the entrance that you used to get in. He seems to be focused on his radio. Yeah, we need backup now! We need backup now! And you see he has his pistol drawn, and he looks towards you, and he is about to see you.
I use my final edge to just sort of, after steadying myself again, just going for a quick blow to the head.
You rush him, and you can roll for act under pressure again.
11.
You do it. You hit him over the head, and you hear his skull breaking. You hear like the bone cracking. You can see his life disappearing out of his eyes. You just murdered this man, Carver. Is this the first time you've murdered someone?
Perhaps deliberately, yes.
You can roll to keep it together.
8.
Then I choose to give you emotional trauma. This was indeed the first time you have killed someone. You will take -2 to stability. This is definitely going to come back to haunt you. The man is down. You have Björn lying down on the floor. Björn, you're actually starting to come back now. You feel like you have the worst hangover in the history of hangovers.
Fuck. I try to get a grip on the situation. Where am I? What's going on?
Yes, you're in the entrance lobby of the building that you were in. Carver, you are standing over the body of the man that you've just killed. What are you doing?
I think for a moment I just sort of stare at his corpse. I didn't mean to kill him. Fuck it. I go for the radio And I just sort of pocket it. I don't even know why I'm doing this, I guess. Maybe I'm thinking I can hear something on the other end, that helps. I look to Bjorn. Do I see him waking up?
You do.
I go over to, help him up. Bjorn, are you with us? We need to go.
You start to hear police sirens outside the building. They're still some distance away.
I realize I probably shouldn't try to stand on my feet myself, so I willingly accept the help of Carver. I was thinking trying to just make out what happened, and I remember standing there, and I remember seeing the man entering, pointing his gun at me, and that I probably should have gone for cover, but Carver was in between me and the man, and I couldn't just let him in, and I'm trying to get back in the moment. We gotta get out. Get us back to the car. Can you drive?
I nod and I just start escorting him as quickly as I can.
You get outside the building. The police are pretty close by now, maybe just a block away. You hear the sound of the sirens echoing between the buildings. You see your car as well. It's not far off.
I'm not sure anyone is seeing us, but just get into the car and drive. You drive, Carver. Here's the key.
You look around as you head towards the car. There doesn't seem to be anyone out on the streets here. It's completely deserted. The only thing you can hear is the sound of the sirens getting closer and closer.
Okay, at least that's finally something on our side. Okay, I think you better drive, and drive calmly. Just don't attract attention.
I nod, and I just start driving, pretty much away from the sirens.
I lean back in the seat.
Are you in the back of the car or in the front?
I'm in the front, and I asked Carver, Did you take my gun?
Yes, you did. You did not leave behind that possibly key piece of evidence. You had definitely that much.
No, there was no security cameras. The one witness. Two witnesses.
You look at the rear view mirror. You can see Jenkins sitting there at the back seats, just looking at you.
I look at him and I just look into his eyes for a moment and I just try to draw some stability from that if I can.
You look at his eyes. It's as if he's judging you, Carver. Judging you for what you just did, for the life that you took.
I kind of say aloud, more to Bjorn than Jenkins, but I just say, we had to do that. They would have killed us. They're trying to kill us. We need to defend ourselves. Oh, God.
You make it away from Rösslinger Strasse, from the posh area where Anton Mahler's apartment is located, and you find yourself back on the streets of Berlin, just driving. Normal traffic is passing by. You can hear the radio there's a little bit of buzz coming from the radio. Carl, are you there, Carl?
I look towards Bjorn and I hand him the radio. I remark quietly, try and do that thing you did before with your voice or something.
Carl is not. I haven't heard him myself, but I'm just gonna try and do my best, and I'm just gonna talk. We'll see. You
can actually roll for Chameleon here. You haven't actually met him, but there are, of course, ways to obfuscate your voice in such a way that, well, it could be Carl, it could basically be anyone.
Yeah, and it's a gritty radio anyway. Okay, let's give it a go. I'm gonna roll for Chameleon. Okay. Yeah, so I roll 19 all of a sudden, and plus the coolness, yeah, it's gonna be at 20. So yeah, I'll do that pretty well. Okay, I'm just gonna answer then. Carl here, what's your situation?
Yeah, this is Anton. Everybody okay over there? Understood that there was some kind of disturbance?
Yeah, we had a minor disturbance. Apparently someone had broken themselves into the building through the back door. And one of the other tenants living here, they noticed the crack in the lock and they called the police. So the police are here currently, but aside from that, everything is fine.
I overheard on the police radio that there had been some kind of gunfire in the building as well. Was that you?
No, negative. That was not on our floor. But we didn't... I haven't heard the gunfire myself, so it could be one of those strange neighbors doing one of their, their parties.
Make sure you guys get out of there. I think if the apartment has been compromised, we'll go with SA for a while, figure things out. All right.
Good.
Make sure that you and your men that you put some distance between yourselves and me here. I think we might know who's after us. I'll contact you guys again once I have more information to share. But for now, just get away.
Good, Anton. Let us know when you need us.
Will do.
Carl out. I click the radio off and I just breathe out. Well, that was Anton Mahler. First introductions are made.
And now he's at the SA.
Slavic Association. I pull down the mirror from the car, suddenly just realizing that I've been shot, but I haven't really seen where or what. So I think I have a kit in the just like first aid stuff in the glove compartment.
Yeah, it just seems to be a scratch on the side of your head. What's more alarming is the big bump that you have on the other side from hitting the wall. There doesn't seem to be any long-lasting injury, just the pain and the loss of consciousness that you experienced.
I try to feel if I feel any nausea or the tiredness that one would feel after having a concussion.
You don't think that you were concussed, fortunately.
Well, I guess we got away pretty lucky there after all.
Pretty lucky. Your 2 people are dead. Fuck.
Well, we're alive. Okay. I reload my gun from the spare. I sit there and I release the clip and I start putting some ammo in it. Alright, so what do we do now? We got the SA as a link. Well, it's a clear thing. Obviously, we got the address of Sasha, and we got the... Well, we don't have the address of Philip, do we?
No, so the question is, do we go after a known gangster, or try and break into this SA organization? It's probably going to be locked up tighter than who knows what. All of this while police could now be looking for men with our description.
Well, I'm not sure anyone saw us that's still, alive, and that's willing to report to the police at least. And that they're gonna want to talk about us.
I suppose I didn't think of it that way.
But, still, what you're saying is true. I mean, if Anton is moving to the SA and, well, he knows basically that we're coming for him, if that's what he means. Huh. I wonder why he's so, I don't know, wary of us or aware of this whole thing. What do they want?
My assumption is us dead. That's why they've cursed us.
But why? What did we do? I mean, all we did was, one thing was you in that book, but that wasn't them. That was Harvey Meyerson.
Yes, I'm starting to feel that wasn't as linked as I thought.
Do you think it has anything to do with the books you got for me? Any single one of those books, or that we were getting onto something? I mean, we weren't even looking for. Huh. Why did they kill Magda, by the way? Why would they do that?
I look a little distracted as he's asking me all these questions. I'm just a little like... I don't know, Bjorn. Sorry, I'm not really up to this at the moment. I've not killed... I didn't mean to kill that man. I was trying to just knock him out. I killed him. I didn't mean to. I put too much heart. Fuck.
I look at Carver for a bit, realizing what he just said, that he accidentally killed this man. I weigh my words for a bit, then I say, you did good, and you did what you had to do. It was either us or them. Remember, if I can, connect to what I was just saying, why do they want us dead? Why do they want to get to us? We didn't make the first move here. They put this curse on Magda and then on us. It's not us killing people because we are enjoying it. We did what we had to do. It's self-defense.
I look into the rear mirror again, and I try and find the gaze of Jenkins.
He's still sitting there, still looking.
I look back at and follow his gaze to Jenkins.
He's still almost like a statue there in the back.
You may have a point, but it doesn't mean I liked it.
I kind of hope you didn't.
At this, I kind of hand over the gun that I've still got on me and I give it to him. Maybe you should hold that for now.
I nod, understandingly, and I put it in my pocket.
So what is your next move now? It's in the middle of the day, you're in Berlin. The radio is silent. Jenkins is sitting in the back, staring at you.
Yeah, okay, so let's try and see what we can find out about the Slavic Association. We should look for government records, check their newsletter, and make sure we got everything we could possibly need before paying them a visit.
Carver, you have some ideas about how you can go about doing this. You know the offices you will need to visit. You know that you might need to pay a few bribes to get what you need. You can roll to investigate to find out more about the Slavic Association.
Very well, I'll agree after we've had some basic food. I'll agree to just sort of spend the day trying to investigate via the leads that I know.
Good, and I'll try to help.
12.
If I can.
You can.
15 minus 1, 14.
Roll to help, Bjorn.
So 12, I guess.
That gives me 15. 2 questions.
So you do a cursory investigation of the Slavic Association. You go to some old government buildings in what used to be East Berlin. There's some rather unpleasant people you have to talk to there to get the information that you need. Some money changes hands. And you're able to get a breakdown of who the Slavic Association is as far as the government is concerned. The Slavic Association is a cultural historical society for Russian-born Germans. You have their address, which is Kartenaustrasse 31, which is a small alley off Bernauerstrasse. That is where the Berlin Wall once stood. It was founded in 1961 in what was then East Germany. Its purpose was to assist German citizens born in the Soviet Union to trace relatives and locate documents regarding their family history. The founders were Anton Mahler, Alexander Sasha Pogodin, Philip Kramer, and Magda Orlova. The association's activities expanded, and it became a broad cultural union of Russian-born Germans and Russians residing in East Germany as their core membership. They got this office provided by local authorities, where it still is today. In 1978, they started a publishing arm called Black Sun Publishing. Black Sun Publishing publishes materials produced within the association, as well as Russian language literature of particular interest to its membership. An interesting thing that you can see from what they have published is that it is a lot on Russian literature. It's some on the situation in East Germany, political, economical. This seems to be more what you know that Magda was working with. There's also a number of books that seem quite occult in nature. Quite a big publication by an author named Nigel Harcombe. And then also a number of books published by Philip Kramer. Since the fall of the wall, the association has broadened its membership to also include citizens of former West Germany. There's currently 840 members. Mostly from what you can see, it's that they're doing is cultural events, lectures, study circles, and meetings with regard to the Russian language and culture. At least that is what they're doing officially. You also have the board of the organization. The president is Anton Mahler. Vice president is Magda Orlova. You got Helga Kraus, this is the secretary. Then you have two prominent members listed here, Alexander Pagodin and Eric Karpov. And then a substitute member of the board, Dorotea Boronina. That is what you can gain from the government documents. Is there anything that you would like to ask in relation to this?
Reading all this, I'm assuming I probably spend a good few hours on this, probably till...
This takes you most of the day. You have to visit a number of different government offices, and it does take a while to get what you need. You get the feeling that the staff at these offices, they're really trying to make things take as long as possible. As if efficiency really isn't something that they're aiming for. Perhaps an old habit.
Gathering all this information together, combining it with the knowledge I already have. What is it about this association? Is there something I'm missing? Like, on the surface, it just seems like any organization interested in cultural stuff, perhaps these little dabblings in the occult, but is there something I'm noticing that seems a bit weird? I guess I'll combine my two questions into sort of that, like a sort of like weird and what do my instincts tell me type thing.
Yes, you're able to get a hold of some limited information on the organization's economy as well, and you can see that they're handling larger sums of money than an organization of this kind should be able to handle. It's quite eye-catching, actually. The fact that you were able to catch it from this sort of cursory investigation from the outside means that someone like the Economic Crimes Authority should also have been able to catch it, but it doesn't seem like they have. You get the feeling that this is an organization that is being protected by quite powerful people. You also get the feeling that while they're not in the members list, you get a distinct feeling that there are connections with some of the most prominent people in Berlin. Their spouses, their people in their families you can find in the members lists. You think it might even go up to the level of the deputy mayor, police commissioner, perhaps. You also understand through your investigation that this is an organization that people really don't mess with. There's a lot of rumors that you come across. They seem like a scary bunch of people.
Just as I thought. I take a sip of a coffee that I bought for myself because I need something to keep me awake. And I suppose I conclude my investigations for the day on those notes.
Huh. Alright, so we got a few names. We got this Nigel, who published things like Philip did. Not sure if the same subject, though, I guess. I mean, Philip's books was on the occult, and he's a known Satanist. But this Nigel, I don't know what he's published.
I suppose the question now, I say, looking towards the clock, is do we try and pay the Slavic Association a visit? Especially considering that our friend, Anton Mahler, could very well now, by this point, be there, using it as a safe house for the moment.
One feeling you really got when you did your investigations was that while there was much that you could learn from the government documents, to get to the truth, you have a feeling that you need to go to the source. To actually find out what the Slavic Association is doing, you'd need to actually look at their records. They're too good at hiding what they do externally, and they get too much help there to to get what you need, but perhaps in their premises they have something that would be of more use to you. Something that might help you get after 3 Russians. Something that might help you get out of this situation.
The way I see it, Bjorn, we need to get into the Slavic Association. At this point, fuck, I've killed a guy, you've killed several people, we're on the frantic, we could be at any moment on the run from the police. If we don't move quickly, we're fucked. The only question is, how do we get in? I'm not sure what the best way would be. Do you have any ideas? I mean, don't get me wrong, but your skill set seems to be increasing by the day. You knew where to hide that body. You did that mimicking thing with your voice. That was really impressive. Like, what do you think?
I think I might be able to get what I need. I just need to pop out for a bit.
It is late afternoon when your investigations have concluded. You've worked together quite well to get what you were looking for, or at least most of it. What do you do now?
I'm thinking that I could just actually pay a relaxed visit to the place as a, curious Russian or whatever, actually, and just see what I can find, if it's still open, I mean, to the public.
Yeah, based on what you could find in the records, it does seem as if they are open until 6 every day. So you should be able to pay a visit to them still, if you hurry.
Okay, I'm gonna hurry, and I'm gonna get something less conspicuous than my refined suit and coat. Something that I think would, fit in, not necessarily looking like the stereotype Russian, but, just some guy on the street, and perhaps a pair of glasses, just something to make me look a little less like myself.
You're able to arrange this quite quickly. You have your ways.
Yeah.
And you head for the Slavic Association. Carver, are you going to join this, or would you like to continue your investigations, or perhaps spend a little time with Jenkins?
I think I'll drive along with him, but I'll wait outside in the car and, spend some time with Jenkins, making sure he's fed and, as odd as it sounds, trying to explain myself to him.
The Slavic Association is located on Kartenaustrasse 31 in a narrow alleyway situated between old Soviet-style buildings. Their offices are inside a rundown factory building. A rusted gate leads into the front courtyard of the factory complex. It's filled with junk and overflowing trash containers. There's an old East German IFA W50 truck that's parked here. Faded text on the buildings indicates that this was a light bulb factory a long time ago. So there are 3 buildings here. One that is now occupied by Berlin's Nature Conservation Association, another for Höder's Furniture Workshop, and the third is the Slavic Association's offices. Where do you go?
Well, I see no reason not to go to the place, the Slavic Association. I don't know if the other ones have anything to do with it. I suppose they could be using their storehouse for whatever weird things they've got going on, but yeah.
Your research didn't show any connection. They're just probably in the same old factory complex, but no other connections. As you approach the Slavic Association's offices, a plaque by the entrance states that Black Sun Publishing is also located in the same building.
Okay, I hunch my shoulders a bit, and I put on a silly, nerdy, enthusiastic grin, and I look around on the outside to see how it looks with, like, security cameras, possible alarms and things.
You do not see anything, actually. It strikes you as a little bit odd, given everything that you know about this organization and the kind of people that are involved in it and their backgrounds. But there is no security camera here. And at least from what you can tell, there's not an alarm on the door either. It's just a normal door with a lock. And that door is now open.
Huh. And no alternate points of entry either. That's visible.
Not that's visible here from the front. Possibly if you moved around the building, you might be able to find a window or something along those lines. Would you like to do that?
Maybe later. Now I just want to go in and have a look around and converse with the lovely people in the reception.
Entering the building that houses the Slavic Association, you're met by a cold, shabby hall with stone floors and brick walls. A stairway leads to the next floor. To the right, there's a solid steel door with the words Black Sun Publishing. And to the left is an old glass door marked the Slavic Association.
Solid steel. Well, that seems kind of fitting. Let's see, so there was stairs leading up as well.
There's stairs leading up to the next floor. You have the door to Black Sun Publishing. There's the door to the Slavic Association. Also next to the stairwell is a modern freight elevator. On the other side of the hall is a passenger elevator, an old-fashioned one with a bar gate to pull across.
Well, let's go and pay a visit to the Slavic Association.
You open the door and you enter the Slavic Association. What meets you first is a wardrobe with 2 women's coats hung up. You also see a hall with red upholstered sofas that sit along the walls. Travel agency posters of Moscow and Leningrad hang on the walls. There's a huge monstera plant that fills most of the room's right corner. Straight ahead, there's a sliding door, which stands slightly ajar. There seems to be some kind of meeting room beyond it. On the right wall is a room marked Secretariat, and on the left, a toilet.
Okay, so there's no one really here.
Not here. Maybe in the Secretariat. That's probably where there would be people, you guess. It's very quiet. You almost get the feeling that a bunch of people have already left for the day.
I go over to the folding doors, what you call them, and I have a peek in there.
Beyond there seems to be a meeting room, a sort of gathering room for larger groups of people. Worn benches stand in several rows, leading up to a speaker's platform and a podium. There's an old Dia slide projector that rests on a table in the middle of the hall. Grey-brown curtains cover most of the windows. There's a huge palm plant that stands in one corner, where the curtains are pulled aside.
Alright, so no one else in there.
No, it's very quiet.
I want to go in and I want to carefully see if I can unlatch one of the windows.
Alright. Then I want you to do an act under pressure to be able to do this without, creating any noise or drawing any unwanted attention.
Alright. 17.
Behind one of these grey curtains, you find a window. You are able to open that up. You have a feeling that if you wanted to come back here later on, this would offer you a way in. You're actually able to see outside also. It's low enough that you could climb up without having to have any kind of ladders or anything.
I nod a bit satisfactorily to myself and I pull the curtains closed.
It's impossible to see that anyone has been here, so unless there's some kind of routine to check all the windows before closing up, you're fairly sure this window will remain open. You're standing there now in the meeting room, still quiet.
I'm gonna make my way over to the reception, though I kind of feel that I don't really have to do much more, but I want to look around and just see if there is any kind of motion detector or alarm that I should be aware of in case I get back in.
You move towards the door that's marked Secretariat, and do you wish to go inside? You cannot see any motion detectors or anything here, at least.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's have a look inside there as well, just to get an
get a grip on what we might want to investigate later, where we would want to go.
All right, you open up the door, and there's a desk here. The office furniture seems to be from the 1950s. There's a woman in her 20s who sits behind this desk. She's busily working on a humming electric typewriter. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. Behind her, a bulletin board is covered with more than 20 postcards and children's drawings. Green plants are everywhere, and 3 flower pots with lily-like plants hang by the windows. A fat black and white cat lounges in one of the document boxes. She looks up. Oh, welcome to the Slavic Association. How may I help you?
Okay, so do I need to roll anything for this?
Yes, you can roll for chameleon. Let's see if your disguise holds.
12.
You need to choose one here. Either you can't keep this up for very long, or you leave traces and clues that can be connected to you later.
Let's not keep this up for very long.
She seems to be treating you like you're guessing she treats anyone who visits here. Yes, how may I help you?
Hello, my name is Tipalov Vitalyevich. I'm just visiting Berlin from Russia.
Oh, welcome. Then you've come to the right place. Would you, if you would like to know a little bit more about us, I have a brochure here.
Oh, lovely.
She
Yeah.
hands over a brochure. Yeah, as you can see, our focus is on supporting the cultural scene here in Germany, specifically focusing on Russian literature and the beautiful Russian language.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You get a feeling that she really likes to talk. I mean, what's happening in Russia right now, or in the Soviet Union right now, it's very exciting, isn't it? I get giddy just thinking about all the possibilities. Right? What do you think?
Yes, of course. I mean, now is the time we have to come and make a difference and open up to so many new things in the world.
Oh, I hope that Tsar comes back. I mean, no offense, but all these communist writers, they're kind of one note, if you know what I mean.
Of course, of course.
I wonder if anyone of that bloodline is still alive. Blood is so interesting, isn't it? You know, DNA and stuff, that human genome project, that sure is something, right? Oh, it was Magda who taught me about that.
Oh, okay. Who's this? Who's Magda?
She's gone now, but if we can keep some of her blood, perhaps she can be recreated again in the future, right? If this genome project works, like we could all live forever then.
I'm sorry.
She was one of our founders, by the way, back in '61, and we're still around 30 years later. I mean, she's built something that still did last for that long.
Fantastic.
I should ask them more about what led them to do that. Her and Anton and Sasha and the others.
Okay. Are they still working here? Yes, then.
Oh yes, they are. But Magda, she's gone now, and it's such a pity.
Yeah.
She just came back after having been gone for such a long time. Got back on the board, and now she's dead. Life is so unpredictable, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hey, do you know anything about chaos theory?
No, but I'm really curious about this genome project you mentioned.
I don't know anything about it either. I hear it helps explain some. She seems to completely pass on your your questions on the human genome project. She's more into chaos theory right now. Like Magda, right? That's chaos, right? She comes back, great shape. All of a sudden, everything becomes strange. She starts washing herself constantly and starts sleeping here. I even heard her singing one evening, and then she just ups and moves again.
People can live here.
Yeah, but Hamburg seems like a nice place to live. Actually, I think that's where she lived. Did you know that I have never moved? I'm still living with my parents. It's a great setup. I can spend all my money on stuff that I like. So she just keeps on babbling, basically. What do you do?
What do we have around in this room? You said there's another door leading into something else, or is this...
Yes, so you are currently in the Secretariat, which is, if you look at the map, that is room number 7. There seems to be another door here leading into another room. That door is currently closed.
Okay. Do we have anything here that would indicate an alarm of any sort?
Well, that's the thing, right? There's no indications of any alarm systems at all. No cameras, no motion sensors. It's almost as if the Slavic Association basically counts on everyone just being so afraid of them that they wouldn't dare to mess with him. Perhaps it's not the Slavic Association. Perhaps it's Sasha Pogodin. That's the feeling you get, right? He's basically the mafia, right? You don't wanna mess with the mafia.
So what's in here? What's this room for? The other one?
It's just an office. But have you had a look at the brochure? What do you think? Would you like to join us?
Not yet. I'm just visiting. Yeah. I'm sorry. Is there a toilet I can use?
Oh yes. She points towards where you know there is a toilet from entering. Yes, just over there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe I will see you another time. I will read this brochure. When are you closing?
Oh, at 6. At 6.
Okay.
We're open until then.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Come
you.
back whenever
Bye.
you want to.
Very
It's
nice.
very nice meeting you. Great conversation.
Yes. Whew. I go out and I close the door behind me. Okay. If I'm able to get in on the first floor through the window that I've opened or unlatched, then maybe we could take a look here later and see if there's less activity then. So I'm gonna head out.
And you get outside of the Slavic Association's building. Carver, we jump to you now. While Björn has been investigating the Slavic Association, you have been in the back of the car with your friend, with Jenkins. You can't help but feel like there's something that's almost changed in the way that he looks at you. Not that you know how it would even be possible for him to know what you have done. Perhaps it's all coming from you, or...
I don't know. I suppose I'm there, trying to pet him. I suppose I'm not really talking that much, but I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I had to do what happened. It's not the first time. The first time deliberately, perhaps, but... I don't remember much about what happened on the day of the fire. But I know afterwards, obviously, people were gone. I'll never know quite how. The reports obviously put it down to death in the fire. After all, the entire building went up. My parents' lives were taken in that fire, as was almost everyone other than me and my sister. But I suppose I've always been able to disassociate myself from that these days. But in a way, maybe this has made me realise that it's kind of the same, isn't it? It's not something I want to do. I want to stop this. And I'm looking at Jenkins, almost looking for forgiveness, I suppose, which seems very strange considering surely he doesn't know about all that. He's a cat.
He puts his head to the side, looks at you. Do you regret what you did, Carver? Do you regret taking that life?
I do. Even though I know I had to, I didn't want to. I still don't want to. Hell, I don't even know how things are going to end in this situation, but I don't believe anyone has the right to take someone's life, really.
As long as you truly believe that, Carver, I forgive you. And Jenkins starts to purr and looks at you.
I feel relieved, just a little. Does this perhaps heal one's stability?
It does indeed. You've spent some quality time with Jenkins and you have gotten forgiveness from one of the few people or creatures in this world that truly means something to you. You just hope that it will be enough to be able to save your soul.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign The Black Madonna for the tabletop role-playing game Kult Divinity Lost.
The Black Madonna was originally constructed by Gunilla Jonsson and Mikael Petersen in 1991, with additional material for the 2017 edition by Marco Berman, Mattias Fredriksson, Petter Nallo, and Robin Liljenberg. Kult Divinity Lost is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Atrium Carceri and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us comments, input and feedback there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters will have access to extra material, such as a bonus podcast where we answer your questions about the campaign and role-playing games in general. If you just can't wait, you can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.